Hello everyone, back tuning into today's video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next week to 10 days. For today's video, that's going to take us to the 24th of October. So we are heading into like almost the last week of October with the week to 10 day time frame now. And we'll be able to extend out beyond that, of course, with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. They run to around a couple of weeks. Have a look at CFSV2, as always, at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. So it's a busy weekend of updates at Gas Service. Of course, we released the 7th Winter 2019-2020 update, and it's an hour-long epic, so hope you've all found that interesting. If you haven't seen it yet, then you can catch up with it on the Gas Service YouTube channel, and also, of course, at gasservice.com as well. We also did a live stream yesterday afternoon about that winter update. Took quite a few questions and saw what you all thought about it. If you want to have a replay of that live stream, then again the video is at the YouTube channel and also embedded on the homepage at gasservice.com. Right, so if I do anything else, I say a big thank you to our latest patrons. So we're now up to 64 patrons. So hello and a big thank you to all 64 of our patrons. We very much hope that you're enjoying the videos and the content, winter updates and everything else that we're doing at Gas Service. So hello, a big thank you to all of you. But I'm going to say big thanks as well to our 64th patron, Sue Robertson. Sue Robertson has become Gas Service's 64th patron. So a big thank you, Sue, for doing that. You're helping us to pay for the website, gasservice.com, and keep the content online. So a big thank you, Sue Robertson, and also to all of our other patrons as well. If you would like to become a patron for Gas Service, all you need to do is come to the Gas Service Patreon page, sign into your page, sign up for a Patreon account, should you don't already have one, and then you give an ongoing monthly donation to Gas Service. It can be anything from $1 a month upwards, and by doing that you become a patron. So a big thank you to all of our patrons. We're hoping to get 70 patrons by Christmas. Well, whether we'll be able to do that, I'm not sure, but it would be a nice target to be able to reach 70 patrons for Christmas. We see about that. But a big thank you to all of our patrons. Alternatively, you can become a PayPal donor. So this is the GasService.me PayPal page. So this is really simply just come here, sign into your PayPal account, and give whatever donation you would like to Gas Service. So whether you do it through Patreon or through PayPal, you're going to get a mention in videos. We'll give you a shout out and we'll say thank you so much for doing that. So a big thank you to all of our donors, big thank you to all of our patrons, and special thank you to our latest patron, Sue Robertson. Thank you so much, Sue, for doing that. Right, so more rain across the country today again, so it has been a real deluge of a month so far this October. Very wet first half, and today no exception. Outbreaks of rain here across many parts of England and Wales. This is a radar picture from Gas Service, by the way. Outbreaks of rain across many parts of England and Wales, and also Northern Ireland, moving up to western parts of Scotland. There are some bright colours mixed in there, indicating some really quite heavy bursts of rain. It is dry in this southeast corner at the moment, but actually the UK Met has just released a severe weather warning for thunderstorms for this southeast corner. So this is the weather warning page from the UK Met. We've got a wide sort of warning across much of England for rain, a yellow warning, but we've also got a relatively rare amber warning in the southeast for thunderstorms. So let's just have a look, first of all, at the sort of widespread yellow warning. So that's the widespread rain warning. That does cover many parts of central, southern and eastern England, and that's for heavy rain, may lead to some flooding and disruption, just general sort of outbreaks of heavy rain from midday through to midnight tonight. But in this southeast corner we also have this amber thunderstorm warning. So if we click that and go in a bit closer, you can see that the warning stretches really from Norwich and the East Anglian coast all the way down to sort of Brighton. So anywhere from that line from Norwich to Brighton eastwards is under the amber warning for thunderstorms. And what we're saying about this, it's from 4 o'clock this afternoon till 9 o'clock tonight. They're saying an area of thunderstorms and heavy rain may bring travel disruptions, spray and sudden flooding, probably leading to difficult driving conditions where flooding or lightning strikes occur, delays and some cancellations to train and bus services are likely, power cuts likely to occur, and other services to some homes and businesses could be lost. Flooding of homes and businesses is likely and could happen quickly, with damage to some buildings from floodwater, lightning strikes, hail, and also potentially strong winds. It gives you some tips and advice about what you can do in thunderstorms, what to do in thunderstorms to stay safe. So we won't go through all of that, but I mean, common sense is needed. Obviously, don't, whatever you do, stand under trees and whatnot. And don't put up umbrellas. Actually, don't put up particularly steel-capped umbrellas in a thunderstorm when it's lightning, because that is the way that some people have been struck in the past. It also gives some advice about how to travel in thunderstorms, all that kind of thing. So really useful information we get from the UK Met. But yeah, we've got an amber warning for thunderstorms at South East Corner. Relatively rare for that to happen, and particularly so actually in October. That doesn't happen very often that you get thunderstorm warnings in October, especially this late in October. So it looks like there's going to be some pretty lively weather down there in the southeast. Do take care if you're off out and about this afternoon in those thunderstorms. Of course, just generally quite wet across many other parts of England, Wales and Northern Ireland this afternoon as this October deluge continues. Well, moving into the tropical Atlantic, things are livening up there, actually, over the, or have livened up there over the past couple of days. So we've got 3 disturbance areas. We've got 2 yellow X's just here, and then we've got a red X over there towards the coast of Africa. And then we've got Melissa up here, which we talked about on Saturday, of course. Let's deal with the yellow X's first of all. So that one is disturbance 2 with a 0% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours and only a 20% chance in the next 5 days. So I don't think we have to worry too much about that one. There's also this disturbance area here, which is disturbance 3 in the middle of the tropical Atlantic, with a 10% chance of cyclone formation in the next 2 days and a 10% chance in the next 5 days. Again, I don't think we have to worry too much about that at the moment. So we'll move on from there and we'll go to this red X just here. That is disturbance 1, and it has an 80% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours. Highly likely this will be our next named storm. So this one, they're saying a large low pressure system located over the far eastern tropical Atlantic, about 300 miles southeast of the Cabo Verde Islands, is moving slowly west-northwest. Showers and thunderstorms are showing some signs of organisation, and environmental conditions are expected to be conducive for a tropical depression to form during the next day or so, while the disturbance moves west-northwest to northwestwards near the Cabo Verde Islands. Strong upper-level winds should prevent any further development by midweek. This system is forecast to bring locally heavy rainfall and gusty winds to portions of the Cabo Verde Islands later today and through Tuesday. An interest there should monitor the progress of the system. An 80% chance this will become a named storm in the next 2 days, and an 80% chance that it will become a named storm in the next 5 days. So it looks like this will become some sort of tropical depression, and then up to midweek, and then it will sort of weaken as the upper level winds become stronger and dampen it down. So it probably won't make it to hurricane status, but we shall see about that, of course, later in the week. And then we've also got Melissa up here, tropical storm Melissa. Giving maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure of 1,004 millibars and moving east-northeast at 20 miles per hour. Let's click on Tropical Storm Melissa and see what she's forecast to do. So that is the current position of Tropical Storm Melissa just there. Very shortly, Melissa is going to go to a post-tropical depression. That will be by sort of this afternoon, this evening, and then moving in that direction as a post-tropical depression, and then probably just disappearing off the map as it just becomes an area of low pressure in the middle of the North Atlantic. So quite a bit going on in the tropics, but no sign of another hurricane yet. We shall keep monitoring developments. These are the 500 millibar high anomaly flow charts from Penn State University for the next week to 10 days. We've got the ECMWF on the top and the GFS is on the bottom. So 500 millibars is an area in the atmosphere where high pressure and low pressure are being moved around by the jet stream running above. Red extrapolates to high pressure, blue to low pressure. So we can see that in the week to 10 day time frame, we've got this ridge of above average heights in the Atlantic and going up to our north with a trough of below average heights just there and just there. This really looks like high pressure is beginning to take over in the 7 to 10 day time frame. So the trend is still there. We talked about this in Saturday's video, of course. The trend is still there for high pressure to become more influential as we go through to the final week, really, of October. The only thing I'd say is that the switch to high pressure, or to higher pressure, is being put back a little bit day by day. So whether we actually get to it in the end remains to be seen. But the trend is still very much there within the model output for high pressure to become more influential. This is the GFS, and again it shows this big area of above average heights, high pressure sitting to our east-northeast, but lesser extension down into the UK and west of Europe. And actually we've got quite deep low pressure in the Atlantic from Greenland to the middle of the North Atlantic with a bit more influence from the jet stream. So the GFS, what I was just talking about, the idea that this change to high pressure or to higher pressure is being put back by the model output day by day. And the GFS is a good example of that, actually. Even at day 10, between days 8 to 10 here on the 500 millibar high anomaly flow chart, it is delaying that transition into high pressure. That's still relatively unsettled, really, even in 10 days' time. However, I think the model output, you will see it in a moment, is still trending towards higher pressure anyway for the final week or so of October. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks. Looking at Northampton, very local to me today. So the red line here is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Northampton. We're a little bit above average at the moment, actually, in the next couple of days. Then we're going to go cooler than average through the second half of the week into the weekend through to early next week. And then we've still got this warming trend through next week and heading up towards month's end. Not particularly warm, but a definite warming trend is there for next week, with temperatures, upper air temperatures anyway, becoming quite a bit milder. Precipitation-wise, lots of rainfall spikes over the next few days, so it continues to be unsettled up to and even beyond the weekend. A little bit of a drying trend through this period here, which is the last week of October. It is drying a bit, but it's not completely dry. You can see that there are still fairly frequent precipitation spikes even then. So it probably turns drier through this last week or so of October. But whether it completely settles down, I think is still open to a little bit of doubt, actually. Temperature anomalies from the 14th to the 22nd of October are very close to average, a little bit above for England and Wales, a little bit below for Scotland and the Northern Ireland. Precipitation anomalies drier than average for Scotland, near normal elsewhere, still a little bit wetter than average in the southeast corner. That may be influenced actually by today's downpours and possible thunderstorms. So this is how the GFS is looking on Thursday then, rather wet and windy really. Low pressure is out to west of Ireland. We're bringing in this brisk westerly wind that will feed in sunshine and showers, quite tightly packed isobars as well with that low pressure. So pretty cool. Cool showery conditions continuing into the end of the week, and then this low pressure just sort of sits over the top of the country over the weekend. The winds do ease off, so the winds will be falling lighter, but that could create its own problems by night with some mist and fog patches beginning to develop, possibly some quite cold nights as well coming up over the weekend, and sunshine and showers I would have thought by day. Into next week, that low pressure gradually drifting away to the east. We're having a go at building up some higher pressure from the south, but never truly getting rid of low pressure out to the north and west. However, with time moving up to day 10, that high pressure does start to strengthen. So this is how we look by day 10, which is Thursday 24th of October. High pressure is sitting to our east. We're turning the winds into like a southerly to southeasterly. I'm not sure it's a desperately warm source of air though, and again we may have to worry about mist and fog patches early and late too, but probably pleasantly mild I would have thought by day, given a bit of sunshine. And then some more extended range with this GFS run, where we have a go at bringing in some low pressure from the Atlantic there around the 26th of October, and then a definitive build of high pressure just beyond that as we head into the end of this GFS run, which gets us actually to Wednesday the 30th of October, so almost to the end of the month now. In the extended range of the GFS. Then we do have a definitive area of high pressure at 1,030 millibars, because it takes a very long time to get to that, and it's a long way out. It's over 2 weeks away. So they are going to build up some higher pressure next week, but whether we will get to this really big ridge by the end of the month remains to be seen. This how the GM is looking, so again very showery, quite windy as well for the second half of the week. That low pressure sits over the country into the weekend. Winds do fall lighter over the weekend, but it'll be pretty cool and showery. Into next week, increasing influence from high pressure across England and Wales. Still looking quite unsettled though for Scotland and for Northern Ireland too. That's how we look at day 10, which is Thursday the 24th of October. Again, the idea is that high pressure is strengthening here, becoming increasingly influential through the course of next week, more so really than what the GFS was showing, or doing it quicker I suppose than what the GFS is showing. And then the ECMWF, again it's rather showery, quite windy, quite cool in the second half of this week, and into the weekend we keep it unsettled, low pressure over top of the country, isobars opening out, so winds will be falling lighter, but it'll be cool and showery, and we could have problems with mist and fog patches and relatively cold temperatures as well, I would have thought, by night over this coming weekend. Into next week, gradually we get rid of that low pressure, strengthen the heights a little bit, particularly to our south and to our east as well. That's how we look at day 10. High pressure is beginning to take over, beginning to strengthen and starting to push these areas of low pressure way to the northwest. So the trend is still very much there within the model output for higher pressure to build up next week. But how high the pressure goes, whether we go into a proper area of high pressure or whether we just have a ridge for a few days and then we're back to unsettled conditions, that does remain to be seen. However, a break in these very unsettled conditions looks like, particularly for southern eastern parts of the country, it looks like it's probably on the way next week. These are the options on the table within the ECM Ensembles today for day 10, which is the 24th of October. We have 19 members of the ECM Ensembles, including the ECM Control Run, that have this ridge building through the country and out into the Atlantic as well. Low pressure is up to the north, so that's settling things down, sailing the jet stream northwards. 17 mo look unsettled, with low pressure over to the west of the country, bringing in the jet stream. And then 15, which does include the ECM operational run. That's the run we're just going through, of course. Those ones are building up high pressure to the east and also to the west, and pushing this trough of low pressure sort of away from us. So that's taking a little bit longer to get into the ridge, but is trending in that direction towards high pressure by day 10. So I think that is very much the trend within the ECM Ensembles today. By day 10, we're likely to be seeing a trend towards high pressure. These are the options we've got in 2 weeks' time, taking us towards the end of October now. This is getting us to the 29th of October, 360 hours away. So we have 12 members of the ECM Ensembles with high pressure sitting to our north. They're bringing in easterly winds. Obviously, very much more settled scenario. It could be a little bit on the chilly side, though. 11 members of the ECM Ensembles looking really, really wet with low pressure, and a very deep, big trough of low pressure at that, right over top of the country. So Huge contrast between those 12 and those 11. Another 8 with above average heights just out to our west. They're going to be quite cool with winds coming in from the northwest, but a reasonable amount of dry weather there. 7 with low pressure to the south of us, and again we're bringing in those easterly winds. Another 7 with low pressure to our east, and some high pressure is out to the northwest. And then 6, so it's a lot of options on the table by 2 weeks' time, by the end of the month. 6 with low pressure sort of over and to the east of the country, and again they're going to be very unsettled. So it looks like it's roughly 50-50 really by the time we get to 2 weeks away, whether we're under high pressure or whether we're under low pressure. It does highlight the fact that if we do start to build up some higher pressure next week, it might not last all that long. And finally, CFSV2, so these are 500 millibar heights, and they're broken down into weekly periods. The first weekly period will take us from the 14th to the 20th of October. The coming week is unsettled with low pressure over to the north of the country, bringing in the wind from the west, so it remains cool and showery really in the week ahead. But all change for week 2. This is the 21st, 27th of October, with high pressure then taking over a large ridge extending in from the Atlantic through the UK and into Europe as well. Low pressure is pushed off up towards Greenland and Iceland, and the jet stream is pushed northwards too. High pressure still in control as we get through to week 3. This is 28th of October to the 3rd of November. The above average heights then are just to our west, with low pressure towards Greenland and Iceland. Rebound of dry weather, probably a bit cool though. Winds could be coming in from the northwest with that one. And then we finish up in week 4, which is the 4th to the 10th of November, with above average heights to the south of us and below average heights up to the north. Could be turning more unsettled, especially for northern parts of the country. It would though be mild, because of course we'd be bringing the wind up probably from somewhere like the Canary Islands with that. So that would be a pretty mild first half to November. Right, so there's a lot to work out over the next few days. I think the focus primarily in the coming days is going to be about high pressure building up next week. How strong will the high pressure get? How long will it last? It does look as though, at least for eastern and southern parts of the country, will break us out of this unsettled spell for a few days. But whether it lasts all that long, I think the evidence on that is much more flimsy, really. The ECM ensembles particularly look quite mixed in 2 weeks' time, with roughly 50-50 between high pressure still in control for the end of October or back to big areas of low pressure. So that's all to be sorted out. But it does look as though we probably get a bit of a break from this deluge October next week. But we'll have to wait and see how long it lasts. As I say, that's going to be the focus of videos for the next few days. I would have thought tomorrow we've got the ECMDF 30-day look coming up for the UK and rest of Europe as well. And of course have another week 10-day video update too. But 22 minutes, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.